Jalaula, 147 kilometers northeast of Baghdad, is an eerie place.
This is a city of 87,000 people and it's completely empty, and virtually every single shop has been looted and trashed, and many of them have been burned as well. It's a pretty extraordinary sight.
Just one of many areas in Iraq now lying abandoned. Residents who were displaced by the conflicts are not allowed to return home. This is repeated in villages across the north of the country, in areas now under the control of the Kurdistan regional government. I have come to investigate reports that Arabs who lived here are being prevented from returning to their villages and that their homes have been destroyed. It's a complicated situation. This is a disputed area of the country. The Kurdistan regional government has long claimed the area as part of its semi-autonomous region. Its Peşmerge forces are using the fight against the so-called Islamic State, or IS, to establish control on the ground. Sunni Arabs in this multi-ethnic region of Iraq are now often blamed for atrocities committed by the IS. Remember these pictures? Thousands of Yazidis, members of a religious minority, being rescued off Mount Sinjar. Following the withdrawal by the Iraqi army from large parts of northern Iraq in June 2014, Islamic State fighters launched a relentless and murderous attack on the Yazidis. Thousands were abducted. Men were killed and women and girls were kept as sexual slaves. 18 months on, they are still unable to return home, living in these camps in dire conditions. Some took up arms and joined the Peşmerge to fight back and reclaim their land. After the Peşmerge pushed IS fighters out of these areas, they engaged in a campaign to destroy Arab villages and allowed Yazidi and other militias to do the same. Homes of Arab villages were burned to the ground, bulldozed or blown up, making any future return impossible. Even if residents wanted to return, they are being stopped by Peşmerge forces, often under the pretext that they supported Islamic State.
This is al-Khadari, one of the Arab villages which are near Sinjar mountain, which have been destroyed. Let's go inside and see.
Khabari used to house around 300 people. Virtually every single house has been burned down by members of a Yazidi militia, who later returned with bulldozers and made sure none were left standing.
You can see the tracks of the bulldozers and the pattern of destruction on the houses. These houses have not been blown up, they have been hit.
The village now stands empty. There is little to return to. The Peşmerge did nothing to stop Yazidi militiamen destroying this and other nearby villages like Jiri. The scale of the destruction is incredible. Red dots in this satellite image pinpoint the houses that have been destroyed in yet another village, Sibaya. The green are the only one that remain. There is no doubt that some Arab residents from this region joined IS, and those who participated in atrocities should be brought to justice. But entire communities should not be punished for the crimes of others. With nowhere to go, thousands of those displaced from the destroyed Arab villages are sheltering in camps like this, where conditions are desperate. Often without even basic facilities, no jobs, and facing restrictions on their movement, they feel abandoned. Wherever I go, from east to west, the pattern is the same, and so is the suffering. The village of Tabaj Hamid, shown on this satellite image, was completely razed to the ground. This elderly woman and her daughter are sheltering in a nearby abandoned chicken farm with dozens of other families in abject conditions. They are among the few that were willing to talk on camera, as most fear further reprisals. The world can no longer turn a blind eye to what is being done in this region. Amnesty International says that those providing military assistance to the Peşmerge in their fight against the Islamic State, including members of the US-led coalition like the UK and Germany, must demand that these abuses stop and that all communities are protected, including the Arab population.